corpse is fresh. The killer is still here.
I found everyone that I could.
More numbers grant us a better chance of making it out of this madness. Still yourself. We're ascending this mountain.
I think it's the mountain that I accidentally started going up before. The door was locked at the end of the path, which I'm guessing is just because you have to choose, oh, find everyone or say Jack goes, hey, we're going to go attack it. And then at either point is when the door would be unlocked, because it said it needed a key in order to progress.
You feel that? The ground feels like it's breathing. I don't think I'm ever gonna sleep again.
Oh, Alcarin's here now. I'm guessing he was always here and he just didn't properly port to us, and fast traveling probably fixed that then. Oh, Alcarin, it's good to have you back, buddy. You were probably just looking for me, you were probably just lost and confused, and man oh man, we need to get Chacos a better sword than an iron sword. I think he has earned the right for ebony. At the very, very least. So now, will the door be open? Oh. Jackos, do you have the key? He's like, of course I do. Not sure why, but I do.
Damn, seems to be locked. There must be another way around these walls.
Damn.
If this world works like ours does, which is a huge assumption, then I think we may have another route to get beyond these rotting walls. Heard wind ushering from that cave down there. Must be coming from its other end, which could lead us out through this construct. Haven't many options, so we'll have to take risks. See if you can find another path through this dump. May Mara protect you from the evils to come.
It's a minor thing. I kind of wish the priest had a name. He feels like a central enough character that it would make sense for him to have a proper name. If anything, I would say he's been one of the more important quest givers for the main quest line. Ugh. High five, buddy. High five. Ugh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure there's some people who love these environments and love these mods. I'm not even the most squeamish person, but it definitely makes me feel a little uncomfortable at times, if nothing else. But I think that's really just the intent in the end. Hey, Alcarin, what were you doing there?
Mate, come on.
I found a way through.
No kidding. Thanks for putting your neck on the line for us. After all this is done, you'll be the first to receive a reward from the king himself. We should get going before our luck runs dry. Don't lose track of me. This isn't a place you want to get lost in.
It reminds me a little bit of the nightmare haunted mansion sections from Vigilant, from Act 3 of Vigilant. But weirdly enough, I didn't find the Cold Harbor Act 4 part of Vigilant to be that disturbing, but I guess it's this stuff, the stuff where everything's just covered in blood and gore, where I'm like, ugh.
Time to taste metal.
That's what makes me uncomfortable, rather than the more just demonic, sinister stuff that we had in Cold Harbor and Vigilant.
This ends here.
I guess that I can just wrap my head around a little bit more.
Who are you, Oakley?
Who are you, Oakley? I saved your life, Sec. You know what? You should be unknighted, and I should take your knighthood. I don't really think that's how knighthood works, but maybe it should be that way. Maybe that's how it should work.
Stay alert.
You stop being a knight, and I start. I just wanted to look in the room. I just wanted to see if there was anything. There was not. Also, Jackos deserves a reward in the end.
Eyes forward. We have enemies.
Oh, she went flying. I love it.
Time to taste metal.
Right between your eyes.
Can we get Jacko stationed in Evermore after this? I know he
Piss
wants
on
to
your
protect
corpse.
Arnima. I know he wants to do right by Arnima and its people, but
Going places,
frankly, I think
Get closer to the
the
tower.
guy
Just
deserves a
few
better
more yards.
post. Frankly, I think the guy deserves a better situation in the end after all this. Because I would almost argue this isn't our operation. This isn't our quest. This is his quest. And we're following him. We're helping him. Oh. Okay, you... No, you went out that door. I guess... No, we do want to go out that door. Okay. The marker was throwing me off. If anything, I hope Jakos is the one
Yeah, I hear it too.
to take
Make
the
your
sigil
peace.
stone, because
I'll piss on your
I realize
corpse.
we're the ones who went off and
Right between your eyes.
found the survivors who rescued them, but I really feel like we're following Jakos' lead. He, to me, really still feels like the brains of the operation here.
Draw your last breath.
I mean, he's the one with the Oblivion training. I don't have any.
Messed with the wrong Richmond.
I feel like the guards just didn't come with us at all, huh? I hope they're alive. Otherwise, Arnima's gonna have no guards left, frankly. Ah! The Gut Garden. It's lovely this time of year, isn't it? Ugh. Well, there's the tower. That's more than a few yards. Let's be real.
What is this place? Gotta find a way
You
out.
and Rados must reach the top of that tower. We'll fend off these creatures and bide you enough time to finish this. The
Rados.
fate of the Reacher on you two. Mara's love be with you. I hope to see you on the other side. Now go!
Oh! Oh!
Another gut.
Okay, yep, Rados, you and me. Question is, do I have a torch so I can test out my theory? I do. Alright. Weak to heat. Oh, they thought of everything. Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. I'm so happy. I was expecting it not to work. I was expecting it to only react to flame spells, but no. It's such a nice little touch. It makes me happy. Also, quick thing. Did you notice the layout of the town? That's Arnima. Or at least it is a depiction, a representation of Arnima. Things like that I love. The attention to detail, just thinking things through like that thematically. Always great.
Chronicles of Antecedent Interlopers. There is no voice acting, and as such, we just will have you
Taste metal.
talking to yourself.
Oh, a flesh mimic. Is that supposed to be the priest, but beheaded? Granted, it's just a guy in
That
black
was easier
robes, so
than
it could be
expected.
anyone. Oh, and killing the flesh mimic opened this up. Okay, I don't think the flesh mimics are supposed to be representative of people we know, because I don't think I've seen anyone with a Dunmer outfit in the entire mod, or at least no one tied to the main quest line has been wearing one.
Say your prayer. Must be going mental.
I was almost expecting it to be someone wearing like Morose's outfit, for instance,
Time to taste
or
metal.
Mortiphane's. The real question is, are we gonna find Mortiphane at the end of this, or are we just gonna rest him ourselves in Arnima?
Say your prayers.
Is that a naked Mirak?
Well, that was easier than expected.
That's a naked fake Mirak. Oh. I guess there's supposed to be representations of people that we knew not just in Beyond Reach, but beyond then. That's not what I was expecting at all. Oh. Alright. That gave me a chuckle. That was good. Not Magic Mike. Magic Mirak.
There you are.
And boom. Oh, that didn't desummon the Mimic. I was hoping.
I'll piss on your corpse.
Wait, who do you have over there? God, this tower is big, though. This tower is pretty big. Oh, I can read these. The alien language morphs as you look upon it, to something you comprehend. Fourth intervention of the interloper, to halt the red spill, to watch the dragon die. Turns out I should have been reading those all along. If there's more, I'll read them as we discover them. Like here. Oh, hey! You again. Man, you don't have nearly the healing abilities that the other one did.
Wrecking faces.
Thank God for that. Fifth intervention of the interloper, to stop a cycle and leave barren the World Eater's belly. See, it's trying to assert that we're wrong for stopping Alduin and stopping the destruction of the world. That we're messing with the forces of nature.
Hey, don't make this a habit now.
Which is something that Parthenax had even implied. It's like, what if the world is supposed to end? I'm like, well, I'm not done living yet. So joke's on you. Sixth intervention of the interloper. To watch the world in its waning. To watch the dream fall to nightmare. I mean, this is very, very much a nightmare, to be fair.
So, the married messengers assail us. Neither despair nor decay could halt the march of destiny. Will the story of your flesh end in tragedy or triumph?
Who are you?
Feel that? The ground. Feels like it's breathing. I don't think I'm ever gonna sleep again. If we make it out of here, that is.
Made was sought after from men in the West. Brothers of same flesh, same ones.
God.
We can cheer for the race.
What is this place?
Superficial
Gotta find a way out of here, mate.
penetrating so deeply.
Speak clearly.
Mortals are locked behind the eyes, forever beholden by the spectacle provided. Carnality flows down from these organs. Libido, hunger, dominance. I hope the patchwork below has given insight. Art etched into the very edifice of this red land. Convention betrayed, desecrated one before the virtuous man. The civilized, devoured by the subaltern. Want eating want, a tale you've come to know, cattle as you are. Here lays all that's aberrant, all of nature's most hated.
What are you talking about?
Pragmatic flesh cattle. Listen for reason. Let the soul gain your ears. Let your guts listen. Let them churn from these primordial truths. The misery you've witnessed, carved for your temporal home, is mirrored here. Both worlds drowned in the tears of wanting mortals. Your flesh cattle awaiting this red mire well before this hallowed hour.
Why are you doing this?
Inquisitive flesh puppet. The Kappa has a destiny of doom. survival into the next world, as this tower replaces the first on yours. The deception will be complete, and when beings in the next world assemble to build the same constructs, the idea of Namira will be in their plans. Their arms will erect the frame, and our tools will make the tower whole. Their world will be Mother's creation.
Stop the cryptic nonsense. Tell us what you want.
Exposition is trite, for your destiny remains the same. My desolation or yours, conflict is always the resolution.
What is this place? We gotta find a way out of here, mate.
Time to taste
Oh,
metal.
alright. Yep,
Look who's
okay.
brave.
You guys were a little bit faster about it than I was.
Say your prayers.
I was hoping that I could get back to the conversation where I asked about Mortiphane.
Final flaw.
Oh, that didn't even stagger him.
Kiss
Oh,
my
God.
blade.
Is he invincible?
There you are.
Maybe you gotta do something to weaken him? Like, destroy this hand?
This ends here.
The want wanes. 1 of 4. Is there gonna be more, or is it just the same one? The king doubts. Are you guys hurting him during this? No, he still has his health up. The king doubts.
There you are.
Maybe there's another one I gotta do.
This ends here.
Oh no, now he's taking damage though. Now he's taking damage. Sorry, Alcuin. Sorry. It only said 2 of 4, but it might be all that I need for right now. Maybe I do the other 2 later,
Time to kiss my
after we
blade.
do more damage to him.
Taste metal.
The king wanes, 1 of 4.
Time to taste metal.
So I'm going to hit it again. Because I think the higher
Time to kiss my
it
blade.
is out of the...
I'll piss on
4.
your corpse.
Oh no, I think I got it to 4 last time, it just maybe didn't say it.
Say your prayers.
Yeah, I think it just didn't give me the pop-ups for all 4.
Gouge your eyes out.
But you need to have it at 4 to do full damage to him is what it looks like. Once again, I like mechanics like that. I like having mechanics for boss fights and whatnot.
I'll gouge your eyes out.
Alright, now
Who's brave?
back to the hand. Back to high-fiving it. Alright. I think when it says the king doubts, that's when I can finally hurt him, and it doesn't necessarily say 4 out of 4.
Back down.
I'm just trying not to knock him off the ledge. Okay. Whew. I didn't know if knocking him off the ledge would be bad.
Fallen from the womb, crawl, strive, you shall survive. Forward unto the fissure, away from this crushing wedge. This cord will mark your journey home. This cord will tie us together.
Ground. Feels like it's breathing. I don't think I'm ever gonna...
Mortiphane? Head outside the manor to see what happened. No, give me a second. I want to see if Mortiphane is still here. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm not going to be able to. I don't think I can. Damn it. Well, from out here, it looks normal.
You made it! By the gods, I didn't believe you'd conquer that evil. Those creatures just collapsed as soon as you came through. How did you do it?
How many are left? What's the damage? Forgive me. The body still trembles. It wasn't I who sealed that rift. It was our friends here. Our fate was in the hands of people who came to this town through chance. Their selflessness for such a hopeless people is more than any words of mine can describe.
Of course. We can't thank you enough for the perils you've been through. I'll make sure that you two will be knighted for this triumph.
Not sure any title can make up for the things I saw in that terrible realm. Before any celebrations, let me have a rest.
A rest well earned, but your friend here may still have energy. Head into the King's Hall, and your knighthood will be immediately awarded.
Damn.
Becoming a knight so quickly is a great boon for anyone, and I don't think I've ever seen someone attain such a privilege without being conscripted. But it is the least you should be compensated for. The toll of that realm on all our minds was great. I'm sure the Nine was watching over us there. Good fortunes.
Be on your way.
Whoever did this.
Yeah.
I'll get the swine.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to ask what happened to Mortiphane.
Shouldn't you be banging rocks together, Nord?
Hey, I just saved all of you.
Make yourself busy.
What happened in the town while we were in that realm? A nightmare without equal seemed to have swallowed the land into its bloodied belly. It looked like the town itself was being yanked straight into another world. We funneled the civilians down the road and hurried them to the inn. The missionary had provided his arcane support, warding off the encroaching terror. The rest of us had made peace with the world and put on a forlorn defense outside. The threat was overwhelming and we were almost slain to the last. What then? Yet that's when your daring party had fell back into our reality. And at that moment, the agents of dismay collapsed. We had gathered their stinking corpses upon the fires, hoping to erase their stench from our world for good. You know, the fire would make it smell worse for a little bit though, right?
Don't cause any trouble now.
Me? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I can't stay here.
Right? I wouldn't want to stay here either. That's what I was saying. It's like, let's get Jackos a new posting. Oh, you certainly couldn't get me to live here now. You certainly couldn't pay me to live in this town now. Can I talk to the missionary first? Are they around? They could also just be somewhere else. I'm sure everyone's just kind of all over the place. I'm sure everyone's just kind of running around town right now. Maybe I'll come talk to people later.
Come for aid?
Oh, I can ask where Jackos is. Perfect. What will happen to the Reach now?
We've lost 2 governing bodies in the space of a day. If news of this tragedy goes beyond this land, we'll become prey. The king surely shares this fear too. He's probably deliberated on replacements for our recently departed.
The people have experienced much trauma in a short time. The recovery won't be swift.
We'll have to maintain composure. Fear nor despair can be shown outside these walls. Any prying eyes will see our weakness as opportunity. There is also the dead to contend with. We'll have to spare the next few days for burials. Pray that our foes can cease with their ruinous wants these coming weeks.
I'll talk to you in a second. Just hang out right there.
Farewell.
Hello.
Oh. Alright.
Bye now.
You had nothing to say.
Good day.
Where is Jackos?
Upon your capture of that stone, we were torn from the shores of that red realm. Daedra and other foul spawn clawed at us, desperate to keep us.
So what happened? Oh no! Did he make it?
I happened to free myself of their grabbing tendrils, with the rift sealing behind us. Yet, just before it closed, I had seen Jackos struggling immensely.
No.
Not sure if he made it through, or if those dreaded things pulled him back into their pestilent embrace.
Man. For all the worship of Mara, surely she could spare him that fate.
I pray that he found another exit, that he landed somewhere on Nirn, in some distant land, to find his way back to us.
Let's hope for his return.
To have that world your prison is an unimaginable fate. The gods aren't cruel enough to dispense such twisted punishment on a paragon as he. Regardless, I will have to inform his family of his absence. First violence, then grief. All that makes the Reach.
Damn.
Good fortunes.
I should have known when it said lore for Jackos instead of quest. But still. You gonna be any nicer now, Mech?
Stop pissing me off.
That is a no. Man, you and your brother can go straight to hell. You guys can go straight to the Scotland Void as far as I'm concerned. Well, joke's on you. I'm gonna be a knight. So I'm gonna be your equal. So suck it, Mech. Suck it, Sec.
You were with the Imperials at the outpost, right? Killed all those damn orcs off? I hope you made them suffer. You alright?
I see the soldiers are still on high alert. Can't really say I blame them. I would be on high alert after everything that has transpired too.
Busy.
Welcome.
Horstier told me
It's hard to
that
stay
you
motivated
have an
working
award
for
for
the
me.
city snobs.
Yes. Our bishop relayed the message that your actions, along with your cohorts, had halted the advance of a powerful deigic entity from invading. For such a rare event as this to occur, should call for an even rarer opportunity to award a knighthood.
Horrid mess.
Although
Shit, I saw in
your
there will probably
shoulders
stay
have
with me for
already
life.
carried the burden of
At
an
least you got a
entire
title
town,
out of it, right?
I am sure they can carry the unparalleled importance of being a knight.
I can hold that responsibility.
Thousands of men would murder for a chance of knighthood without having to endure decades in my guard. Do not take this reward for granted. Any acts you commit from here on will be a reflection of my judgment, and so any ill deeds you commit will stain the kingdom of Evermore. Further, any good you bring will help the reputation of Evermore throughout High Rock and beyond. The peasantry will be forced to respect you. The nobility will accept you as an equal. With time, after having ingratiated yourself within our established class, you may help steer this kingdom with me. If you recite the Knight's Sacred Oath, are you ready to speak the words that only the most valorous have uttered?
I will say I'm glad that the spoken line differed from the subtitles, because in the subtitles it said, oh, and you could one day be heir to the kingdom. And it's like, that's not how that works. So I'm glad that he didn't say that. It's like, oh, you can help me lead. Like, I could be an advisor, but I'm not going to be king. I will take the oath.
Very well. I shall start. Revere the Nine and maintain their temples. Serve the king in valor and faith.
Revere the Nine and maintain their temples. Serve the king in valor and faith.
To protect the weak and defenseless. To give succor to widows and orphans.
To protect the weak and defenseless. To give succor to widows and orphans.
To obey those placed in authority. To guard the honor of fellow knights.
To obey those placed in authority. To guard the honor of fellow knights.
Never to refuse a challenge from an equal. Never to turn the back upon a foe.
Never to refuse a challenge from an equal. Never to turn the back upon a foe.
To eschew barbarity, malevolence, deceit, and disorder. And of all, to keep faith.
To eschew barbarity, malevolence, deceit, and disorder. And of all, to keep faith.
You have completed your oath. Hear me all, those under my protection. Hear me all, kind gods. This person shall forever be a knight of Evermore. Now bask in your newfound fame. Attend to the duties of this land. Help the dispersed and sullen
Fancy
souls.
place. So
For we
this
have
is where the
many.
few
Oh,
decide
yes,
to
you
fake
do.
One
women.
more important gift
Maybe in my
that we
next life
bestow
I'll be born
onto
into a
our
life
knights.
like that as well.
The new apparel. So you can be seen to carry the griffin wherever you go. What have you?
I'm keen to wear the armor of the other knights.
Your build is more than enough to carry such weight. and such imposing armor has been known to stop scoundrels in their tracks before. Fit it on. You should see our bishop, or have a talk with Hollister. I am sure they have tasks you can attend to.
Pardon my curiosity, my king, but I've noticed a vacant throne next to yours. Did that belong to your wife? And he's like, oh, well, your knighthood is now over.
Fret not. I'd have chastised you were your words an assumption of her fate, rather than her whereabouts. She had departed the kingdom to visit family in Daggerfall some 4 months ago, with my daughter, though hopefully not to find a suitor for her.
You don't want your daughter to be married?
No. I will be the one who decides the date for when she is wed.
Oh.
Not her mother, whose conniptions will most certainly have her settled with some undeserving yokel.
Anyone else in the family I should know of?
Why, of course. Maybe my most important progeny, Damien. My prodigal son has sought renown and glory in the West. I could not be any more proud to have him continue the dynasty. After my passing, I am assured that his reign will continue to steer this kingdom to new heights.
And I hope to meet him someday.
I've received a quote carrying the message of his imminent return. You certainly will.
Oh, there we go. What are your thoughts on Mortiphane? This is going to be based on if I had asked this earlier.
A tragic figure. I enjoyed having him as my vanguard in the Reach, despite his vicious temperament.
Oh no, I think this is new. He was a madman. Why didn't you oust him earlier?
Careful, knight. You are talking about a lord here. Such words would have you hung, where one were any lower in rank.
I mean, he was a Namira worshipper.
Mortiphane was no different from those who preceded him in that land. Although his application of power may have been a tad more extreme. If only he didn't interfere with the merchants and let them on their merry way to the city, he would still be alive. Such a shame.
Not sure about that. So he only got involved because of gold and trinkets, not because of the abused people?
Cease with the melodrama, lest you incense me. You've only just become a knight. Would be a waste to have that title revoked so soon.
Fair.
Those merchants have brought inordinate wealth to this kingdom, raising the prominence of the East so that it may compare to that of Daggerfall, even. No longer the uncivilized hinterland. We are prosperous and proud now, and we will stay that way. Besides, the people of Raven Spring have grown strong, full of conviction, even after all they have gone through. Our greatest soldiers are pulled directly from the Reach, if you haven't noticed. We need them as much as they need us.
Alright. Also, it's like, what are your thoughts on Morosa? Morosa's, dead. Let's see this armor. Let's see what we got. Oh, I look good. Oh, I could get used to this. I am going to take off my necklace because it's just... It's poking out a little bit. Oh, same for the rings. Also, poking out a little bit. But I look good. If anything, I should probably swap out the cloak for another one. But other than that, I could get used to this. I'm looking pretty snazzy right now. Oh, hell yes. I could get used to this. This is gonna be great.